But I do want to emphasize that that's the biggest part of returning to yourself, finding out what you're passionate about and how can I implement my passions into each and every day. Hey Blossoms, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lauren. I create lifestyle and wellness content for flourishing blossoms just like you. And I got my glasses on, so you know I mean business. I'm not playing today. Today's video is going to be about the ways that I come back home to myself. Personally, I think that the concept of returning home to yourself is really important for us to talk about, because I think a lot of times we drift far from ourselves throughout our lives, and it's important to take time to bring yourself back home, bring yourself back in touch with what matters. Just to explain what I mean when I say the return home. When we come into this world, we are fully ourselves, but then through years of socialization, years of molding, years of this whole nature versus nurture type of things, our environment starts to change us and we get distant from home. So we become focused on the things of the world. We become focused on our families, our jobs, our everything, and we get really lost in the sauce, as they say. We lose who we are and what's important to us. For me personally, my first initial return home truly came from trauma, and I think that happens a lot for most of us. Like, something jarring has to like shake you and wake you up. Like, you know, that first moment of like enlightenment or feeling awakened in your life where you're just smacked with the realities of life and you're like, oh. But I feel like that's when I first got my consciousness, when I really realized like, oh, I'm not just like a being who's just here just to be here. Like, I have purpose, I have value, I have meaning. The return home is really just a constant practice of showing up for yourself in the ways that make you feel good, in the ways that are genuine, not just like the worldly ways. Today, that's what I'm going to be doing. I mean, I have been trying to get back into that ever since I got fired from my job, which was 7 days ago, and each and every day I have been doing these little practices to get myself back home. So one of the things that I really do enjoy is to wake myself up and really bask in the sun, to bask in the energy of God. So whether that's singing gospel music or journaling, whatever the case may be. So I might show you guys a little bit of this morning. This morning I was singing, girl. I didn't want to say singing with I was singing with an A, babe. And that happens to me sometimes. I just get filled up, overjoyed, overfulfilled. I'm about to go into the doctor's office, and then when we get back, we're gonna really get into what makes me whole and what brings me home. My home is Trinity's Garden, and that is the name of this channel. That's why when I return home to myself, I feel that I'm functioning in Trinity's Garden. I still owe you guys an explanation on what Trinity's Garden is, but if I could give you a short explanation, it's when I return home to myself, that space where I'm functioning as myself, doing things that I love, that is Trinity's Garden. Come on! You're not a natural being, having a spiritual experience, living this natural experience. You're not a natural being. Come on, experience, but you're spiritual being. If I post that, y'all gotta comment. For me, journaling is an opportunity to get grounded after months of floating and living with no intention. I use my journaling practice to really affirm my devotion to God, and a lot of times I will just repetitively write out affirmations saying, God, let me be a vessel, reminding myself that I am divine, reminding myself of my worth, and I'll go on and on and on like that until I feel chills, and honestly I start to feel like I'm meditating. Journaling is an opportunity to speak life into yourself in a world where circumstances are constantly trying to take the life away from us. In my experience, one of the first things that goes when we start to drift away from being aligned with ourselves is our ability to take the time to nurture our bodies and eat whole foods. So this day I really wanted to be intentional about making my eating feel like a ceremony and having the intentions of fueling my body, because I think that that's really important for wellness in general. Not only does this nourish your body, but it reminds yourself that I am deserving of the time and effort it took to create this meal. Alright, you guys, so your girl is home. I really need to close those blinds, but I don't feel like it. So I'm just gonna show you guys what I'm eating, and then we are going to eat, obviously. So I have eggs, onion, and spinach. Spinach is really good to have at breakfast. Y'all know veggies are good. This stuff that I have on the side that looks like slaw, I think I recorded so you guys will be able to see too, but this is sauerkraut. Sauerkraut is like fermented cabbage, but they're good for your gut. So like they're good for the bacteria in your gut. And y'all know the brain and the gut are like this. The brain and the gut is like, they see each other outside, they'll be like, gut, brain. They're besties. So for my mental health, I need to keep my gut health clean too. I have some fruit. I did get bacon today, which I'm so happy about because I never have any meat in the house, like especially not any breakfast meat. So I was craving like my eggs to be cooked in bacon fat. So that's what I did. We're gonna eat and I will see y'all later. I think that in this era of social media content creation, we have started to undervalue what content creation really is. Like, content is anything. Content is crocheting, content is coloring, content is making t-shirts or making music. And even though this current content that I'm doing looks like a bit of a jump scare, I love doing it, and it helps me to detach from the idea of like relying on the outcome. I'm not creating this with the goal of selling it. I'm not creating it with the goal of posting this on Instagram. I'm creating it with the intentions of being present while I'm creating it. And to me, I think that's the most important thing about creating anything, because it allows you to be present, which in turn allows you to be aligned with your highest self. There is no one on this planet who was born and meant to be alone. We can all benefit from loving and being loved. And when I am misaligned from my path, being around my tribe is the greatest reminder of God's love. And I just feel we are meant to laugh and sing and touch and fellowship. And this is what really puts me back on track with myself. I'm gonna hold your hand real tight when I say this. Your mind is cluttered because your environment is cluttered, babe. And there's really not much more to say there. If you want to be aligned with your highest self, you have to live in a space where your highest self will flourish. And that has never been and never will be a cluttered environment. So take some time to clean up your space so you can clear your mind. When I'm misaligned, I'm oftentimes either being super stuck in the future or really stuck in the past. And moving my body helps me to get out of my mind and into the world, which just reminds me of the collectiveness of it all. Like, it's more than just me. I am a very small piece of this universe. And I think when I move my body, I get to be so present that it takes me out of that negative space that I get in when I'm misaligned. And really, that's the purpose. Like, that's the goal of getting aligned, is just being able to be in the moment. Hi Blossoms. So as we close out this video, I think I had lost myself so much in my job that I became super disconnected from the things that were important to me. And I'm sure that happens to a bunch of people for whatever reason that it happens to people. I couldn't even tell you. For me, a big part of even getting into this work is having the self-awareness to recognize that you've drifted far away from home. You know, whatever your oasis is, whatever your safe emotional, spiritual space is, you have to have the self-awareness to recognize that you're far from that place, which comes with daily intentional meetings with yourself, doing that daily inventory. That way you don't end up like me and just waking up 8 months later and been like, oh. And it's not like I just woke up like that. It was more so I recognized it. The first time I really recognized it was in February, but then I just put it to the back of my head and I was like, nah, it's fine. Maybe I had chalked it up to like, oh, maybe I'm just changing as a person and maybe those things don't matter to me anymore, blah, 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 blah. I think if you're someone who is into journaling is a really good way to do a daily inventory. And then of course, like I've done this whole video was about reconnecting with your passions, but I do want to emphasize that that's the biggest part of returning to yourself, finding out what you're passionate about and how can I implement my passions into each and every day. Every day we should be aligning ourselves with something that we're passionate about. There's so many consequences of not doing this work. Like I told you in the last video, I have spent this entire year holding on to a really big resentment for myself for not making time for the things that matter to me, feeling lethargic, burnt out, anxious, and so to me those are all just like what's the word, subsequent consequences is what I'm trying to say. So like those things are just because of the fact that I was not aligned with myself. When you get so far away, you really do start to forget who you are. And when you don't know who you are, it's easy for other people to tell you who you are. There's a billion reasons why this work is so important, but to me that's a big thing because everyone's gonna have an opinion. So you need to have a strong, firm opinion of yourself by having consistent routines that keep you in your home. If you can take anything from this video, it's just take some time to reconnect with yourself through journaling, meditation, go to the gym, girl. Take care of yourself, be gentle with yourself, and find your way back home. I'm ready to be intentional and I hope you are. This is a journey that we can take together. And so if you made it to the end of the video, just put in the comments down below the one thing that you're doing to realign or continue to be aligned with your highest self. As always, I have to get really close when I say this. I love you and I'm so grateful that I can create a community of people who are aligned with me, who love me, and I love you. And I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye.